Have you ever tried to build a product or offering that you thought people wanted? They said they wanted it and they were really interested in it, but when it came to buy or participate in your program, they were nowhere to be found. You're listening to the Optimize Online Marketing Podcast. I'm your host, Stacey Barnes. I'm a customer journey marketing strategist, and I help you maximize sales by optimizing the customer experience. Today, we're going to be talking about how to spot the difference between what someone says they want and what they actually want. A while back, I was working on a membership site where it delivered one Instagram story prompt a day. And so the users of this membership site thought it would be a great idea for us to have an app. So rather than logging into the website and opening it up and seeing the prompt for the day, instead, they would have an app that would tell them what the prompt is. So we thought, okay, several people are asking about this. Let's go look into it. So we looked into some options for developing an app and we saw that they were quite expensive. And then we went back to the users and we were trying to figure out what exactly they wanted. They basically said, we want to be able to access the prompts from our phone. When we realized that, we're like, do you know that the membership site is mobile friendly? And some of them didn't realize that it was mobile friendly. And then we also told them, did you know that you can create a shortcut on your iPhone using these simple steps? So there's a way to create a shortcut, a website shortcut on your phone. We showed them how to do that. And they said, when you tap on this icon, it will bring up today's prompt. And that's all you have to do. As soon as they recognized that they could use the website that they already have access to, they could just simply create a shortcut on their phone, tap on it, and it would open up. Then they realized that's all we wanted. We don't need an app for anything else. We can access everything on our phone. This is great. This is perfect. Thank you for sharing that. Boom, it was done. We saved all that money from development, all that time and headache of trying to create a mobile app, and they could easily access it on their phone with a free short. Thankfully, this story had a happy ending. Unfortunately, for many others, their ending is not quite so happy. They go ahead and build out the course, the program, the app, whatever it is, and then come to find out later that they built something that their customers actually didn't want. So today, I'm going to help save you the time and headache from building something that people say they want when they actually don't want it. I'll give you some tips on exactly how to spot the difference and what you can do to give the customers what they really want. So, this first one is tied with the app example. Don't confuse convenience with necessity. Basically, there will be some times where your members will ask for things or your community will say, can you build this? There's a difference between a nice to have and have to have. This leads into the next point, which is ask why they want something and make sure to ask twice. The reason for this is because somebody will say that they want something. When you ask them why, they will tell you the real reason behind it. For example, they wanted an app. Why? Because they wanted the convenience of getting the prompt on their phone. And when, again, you think about the customer experience, they get the Instagram prompt. If they get it on their phone, it's really easy for them to just switch over to the Instagram and start recording their story. So instead of opening the website on desktop, reading the prompt on desktop, and then go ahead and grabbing their phone and doing the story for the day, if they're just out and about, they can simply tap on the website shortcut, open it up, and access the prompt right there. Then we asked again, what specifically do you need the app to do that the mobile version of the website can't? And this is not necessarily asking why, but it is digging deeper and getting to the root of why somebody wants something. So when we ask them, what can an app do that a mobile version of the website can't do? There really wasn't anything. And as soon as they realized that there wasn't really much difference, then they stopped asking for the app altogether. Now, the app was a very specific and tangible kind of request. A different type of request would be somebody asking you to build a course around how to get more followers on Instagram. In which case, you want to understand why they want more followers because it's very simple to buy followers from some shady underground Chinese market app, whatever, and just get a bunch of followers that way. But when you realize why somebody actually wants followers, it's because they want to make more sales and they need qualified leads to come in to their sales funnel. When you have that bit of information, and that's going to help you, that's going to help inform you on what to actually put into your course. Let's say you're building a course about how to get more Instagram followers. There's, again, several different ways you can go about it. But when you ask people why and what the purpose is, that's going to help inform how you do things. All right, this next one is a big one. And if you pay attention to nothing else in this podcast, this is the one that you're going to want to listen to. You have to ask them what they're willing to do to get the thing that they're asking for. So, for example, let's say everyone's like, I want to lose 10 pounds. Okay. What are you willing to do to lose those 10 pounds? Are you willing to wake up every day, go to the gym for 30 minutes, or are you just looking for a quick fix, little 5-minute workout at the end of the workday, and that's all you do? There is a big difference between doing a full 30-minute workout every morning and doing a 5 little minute walk basically to the parking lot at the end of your workday. Those are two very different things. So when somebody says, I want something, we all want to lose weight. I mean, at least most of us do. All of us want to lose an extra 10 pounds. Who doesn't want to lose an extra 10 pounds, right? But there are a few of us who are willing to do the work to get there. So when someone says, I'm going to create this program about X, also make sure that they're willing to do the work to make it happen. All right. Now, what I'm going to do now is share an example of whether, not necessarily whether or not somebody wants something, but more like which version of their program do they actually want. So we talked about the weight loss program example. Maybe they just want the easy weight loss program where it's like how to lose 5 pounds really quickly, and that's all they want. They don't want the long-term diet. They don't want the lifestyle change. They just want to lose those 5 pounds really quickly. And if you can do that for them in a short amount of time, great. And then there's obviously the weight loss program that's going to be a little bit more long-term. It's going to help them lose a lot more weight, but it is long-term, and it does require a lot more. Recently on the internet, there's been a lot of stories of Katy Perry going out into space. There's a lot of memes, there's a lot of jokes. Essentially, what happened was that Katy Perry did a suborbital launch into space. And what this means is instead of a traditional like space launch where you launch into space and you orbit around the earth, Katie and team and friends, they did a launch where they reached a certain part of the atmosphere. And if you're a scientist and you're like, you're saying all this wrong, I apologize. But basically, they went as far out into space that they could safely and then quickly return back to Earth. They basically went just below the danger zone and then just came right back. Typically on orbital launches, what that means is that the spacecraft will launch they will launch past the Earth's atmosphere, in which case they'll be able to orbit around the Earth. They'll be able to, take the space shuttle around the Earth and then return home. Katy Perry, what she did basically, it's kind of like she shot up and then came back down. And that's because the point at which she launched, she could not orbit the Earth because she technically did not break through the Earth's atmosphere. All right. So Katie was able to do all that. She was able to go in a spacecraft, launch into space, see the Earth, and then come back down. And she, as far as I know, has no formal training in becoming an astronaut. Now, let's take a look at some of the requirements to become an astronaut in NASA. So for the NASA program, this is in the United States. Number one, you need to be a US citizen. The second one is to have a master's degree in a STEM field. So that's either engineering, biological science, physical science, etc. And then you also need to have a minimum of 3 years of related professional experience or 1,000 pilot in command hours. And then on top of that, you also need to complete NASA's long duration flight astronaut physical. So I say all of that because there are probably different reasons why somebody wants to be an astronaut. For a kid, maybe they just want to see the Earth. They want to explore space and, it just sounds like a good time. But then they become older and then they realize how much math is involved, how much training is involved, the physical, the physical demands of it, and they realize, that's not really all I wanted. I just wanted to go into space, say that I did it, and be able to see the Earth from a different point of view. The requirements for a suborbital flight are a lot less demanding than what it takes to become a full-on astronaut. So, why do I say all of this? It's because a lot of us think that we want the big thing when really maybe some of us just want a taste of the big thing. With the case of Katy Perry and friends, they just wanted to see space. They just wanted to say that they went there and, just kind of give themselves a different perspective of what it's like to be out in space. They don't necessarily want to do all the training and become a full on scientist and do research on the space station. Like, that's not what their intention was, and that's not what their goal was. So, they did a very simple suborbital flight on the Blue Origin spacecraft. And then, of course, there are people who want the full fledged astronaut training program. They want to do the years of training in order to be certified and to get the respect that actually comes with being a full-on astronaut. So consider this when you're creating your own online program. Maybe you're thinking that the decision either is they don't do it at all or they do the full-fledged course or program. But maybe you're missing opportunities in between. Are you offering a little sample of what your full course could offer? Or are you offering some kind of bridge program between beginner and advanced? Maybe the answer isn't as simple as do they want this or not. Maybe you just need to scale your program back a little bit more to create an offering that fits, that aligns with with what a person actually wants. Bottom line, just do your research, ask questions, ask lots of questions, especially ask why, and then ask why again. Try to get as many layers deep as you can when it comes to determining whether or not somebody actually wants something. Maybe they do want the thing, but they don't want to work as hard for it. Or maybe they do want the thing, but they want a lighter version of it. Or maybe they do want the thing, but they just, want it because it's there, but don't necessarily want to pay for it. Either way, as long as you ask these clarifying questions, this is going to give you the best chance at figuring out whether or not somebody truly actually wants to purchase your program. All right, that's it for today, friends. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you next time. Take care.